Scarlett. Sit on down. Sit on down. Thank y'all so much for coming out. We appreciate y'all, man. Listen, y'all ready for a good show? Yeah! Oh, man, listen. This comic, she's very funny, man. You've seen her all around town. She's killing it. Been touring. You've seen her on a lot of various of TV shows. Start clapping right now. Make it nice and loud. So for Sadiqua Scarlett!
All right. How y'all doing? I really don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm a red-blooded American. You know, in America, we ask how you doing all the time and really don't give a fuck. That's how you drive past them homeless people every day. As soon as the light turned green, pew, I really didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I'm up this bitch dyking. Came here specifically to dyke on you motherfuckers. With these big ass titties, I'm up in here dyking. Yup, got a pair of boxer briefs on right now. Yeah, there's a slit. I don't never use that bitch, but I like to look at it. Be looking at my fat ass pussy like, yeah, bitch. If only you could just ease through that hole, everything would be all right. Don't give me too much eye contact, cause your ass will be going. Y'all know how dykes are. You give me too much eye contact, and I'm gonna be renting the Uber from here. Yeah, to go to the U-Haul place. Move your ass in. 2 days, bitch. 2 days. We like each other for 2 days. You my wife. You break up with me if you want to. Shit, I experienced that already. 15 years later, I was still telling the bitch, no, you're my wife. She's like, I moved on, I'm married, I have a kid. No, bitch, you're still my wife. The fuck? So my name is Sadiqua. It's a Muslim name. I've been skeptical of it ever since 9/11, because I ain't trying to get kicked out the fucking country. Shit. Y'all see how Trump and them is? They just could create a watch list of Negroes with Muslim names who could possibly somehow be associated to Palestine. Yeah, Iraq. So myself, Queen Latifah, and Khadijah, Eric B. and Rakim, Raheem Devon, Barack Hussein, Obama, and the entire Muhammad Ali family, including Will Smith's bitch ass, we might have some problems. Could y'all imagine being on a watch list? The men in black following you around, watching your every moves, tapping into your phone conversations. Like, I can't conduct a successful underground marijuana business under such conditions. So I've been skeptical about my name. I've been skeptical about my name because shit, it's fucked up when people in your own family can't pronounce your name correctly. My great-grandmother, God rest her soul, that old. Yeah, she called, my great-grandmother, she called me everything, right? She asked my mother, say, what's this child's name? And my mother said with pride, of course, Sadiqua, when I was a baby, you know. She coddled me in her arms. She looked down at me with that one good eye. And she said, Dadiqa? That lady called me Dadiqa for the rest of her life. Dadiqa! Go to the store. Dadiqa! Take out the trash. And when the phone rang, knowing damn well it wasn't for her, she'd be like, run to go answer that shit so she could scream through the house, Dadiqa! The telephone! Meanwhile, I'd be standing right next to her. She scarred me, I promise. You know when people in your own family can't pronounce your name correctly, people in the street really fuck your shit up. They call me everything up under the sun. Shakina, Shaquana, Shaniqua, Sadiqua. Sadiqua? Sadiqua? I like that shit. That shit resonated with me. It was at that very moment I decided I was gonna grow up and become a dyke because I wanted to know how it would feel to Sadiqua. Kids in the street, he teasing me. They ain't know they was crowning me queen of the dykes and shit. I go outside to play, little girls, hey, Sadiqua. Hey. You ready? Ew, ready for what? Ready to be Sadiq by her? Yeah, if you would like to be Sadiq by her, you should email me at heyshadiqua@gmail.com. But send a picture, bitch. And proof of income. I don't need no broke bitches in my motherfucking Gmail. That's what Yahoo is reserved for. Yeah, shit. I'm pretty new to LA. And so, you know, COVID had shit shut down. Now that things are opening back up, I'm getting out and trying to date and shit. You know, I asked the lady out. She got a name in the city. I asked the lady out, you know, I ain't gonna say no names. And she was like, no, thank you, Sadiqua. I've tried the lesbian thing before. It didn't work. I ain't gonna say no names. But I wasn't mad. I wasn't that mad. I was like, I can dig it. I get it. I understand. Yeah. Because I tried the straight thing, and that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the titties. Dudes always think they could conquer a dyke with big titties. You know what I'm saying? I had a dude ask me out and shit. Asked me to go on a dinner date with him. I'm like, sir, I'm out this bitch dyking. I'm a lesbian. I am gay. You know what he said to me? One dinner date with me, you be gay no more. So I looked down at my uninvited body guest. Her name is Susan. Say hi to Susan. Susan, say hi to these motherfuckers. So anyway, I said, Susan, what you think? She said, yes. Yes. I said, Susan, what you think? Yes, we should go to dinner with her. It's free. I said, okay, I'll go. Ain't nothing wrong with a date and a free meal. Come date night, though, I go pick that nigga up. I'm sitting outside his house with the engine running, the music blasting, smoking a blunt, tapping on my foot. Fuck this nigga. Bitch, hungry. Susan like, what the fuck this nigga at? He must be brushing his hair or something and shit. I see in the rear view, he come out the house. So I jump out the car, run around, and open the door for him. Because I wanted him to know just how much of a gentlewoman I really am. But he ain't like that shit. He ain't like that shit. We go to dinner. We get in the car though first. I just want to make sure his seatbelt is securely tight. Because I'm still a bitch deep down inside. I got motherly instincts. I very rarely explore and shit, but nigga, your seatbelt tight? Before I on to the restaurant. We go to a family style restaurant and the food come and I grab both forks laid out for me. Cause when they lay the food down, both of the biggest pieces of chicken, them bitches is coming with me. I get both of them. He ain't like that shit. He ain't like that shit. He ain't like that shit. Little dinner conversation. We go afterwards and go for a walk, go window shopping and shit. We wander into TJ Maxx and I head to the clearance rack where I find the Armani extra large boxer briefs on the clearance rack. I grabbed them shits. Come to find out that nigga extra large. He ain't like that shit. He ain't like that shit. I got them shit. At the end of the date, he gonna say, Sadiqua, I don't think this is gonna work. And I'm like, why? I enjoyed myself tremendously. He was like, you too much of a lesbian. I said, sir, that's where we started. Because niggas will waste your time and shit. But if you a real motherfucker who don't mind taking a dyke on a date and treat, knowing damn well you ain't getting no pussy, okay? You like to go for walks, have good conversation. Shit, you know you gonna get these laughs. You should email me at heyshadequa@gmail.com. But send a picture, motherfucker. And proof of income. Cause I don't need no broke niggas in my Gmail. Cause that's what Yahoo is reserved for. Let's clear that the fuck up. Oh man, shit. Y'all think me wearing men's underwear makes me a cross-dresser? Pretty much does. Self-proclaimed cross-dresser in this bitch. Everything I got on came from the men's department. Y'all see it. The fuck? Out here cross-dressing better than Caitlyn Jenner's bitch ass. I moved to California and found out Caitlyn Jenner was representing for the cross-dressers. You see that motherfucker's feet? No, sir. I mean, ma'am. It's not gonna work. But being a cross-dresser comes with a lot of shit. I gotta deal with a lot of shit being a cross-dresser. Like when I run into white women in public bathrooms clenching their purses thinking I'm a big black man coming to rob them. A big black man coming to rob you? I'm like, damn, Judy, you don't see these? These aren't hidden treasures, spoils of folly, 2 big bags of stolen gold. No, bitch, these is titties. Any man with titties this size, I'm convinced, would have a little itty bitty dick. Also known as a clitoris, which I just so happen to have. And yo, the only reason I know her name was Judy was because I read her name tag. And when I read her name tag, she clinched that motherfucker like I was a big black man coming to read. A big black man coming to read? Damn, Judy! You don't see... Move, bitch, so I can use the bathroom. I ain't got time for you. Hold on, Judy, hold on. But before you go, give me that goddamn purse. And that motherfucking name tag. The fuck? I had to rob that bitch. I had to rob that bitch. She was asking for it. The bitch was in the bathroom asking for it. I did my civic duty. Yeah, I robbed that bitch and ran away like any robber does. Being a cross-dresser comes with a lot of shit. I gotta deal with a lot of shit being a cross-dresser. You know what I'm saying? Like with dudes, any little miscommunication or disagreement, dudes be ready to fight. Yeah. I had a dude tell me last week, shit, your ass big as a man. I'm gonna have to fight your ass like a man. Like, fight me like a man? Like, damn, Daryl. You don't see these? The only reason I know that nigga name was Daryl is because I read that motherfucker's name tag. And when I read his name tag, I just want the fellas to know, shit, we may be big and strong, us dykes and shit. Slit in my underwear and shit. We don't want to fight you motherfuckers. You can have that bitch. Plenty other bitches in the sea, goddamn it. I ain't trying to get punched in the face by no 300-pound motherfucker. No, Plus, I wear panties at least 4 days a month. Period. Okay? The hole still works. The hole still motherfucking works, yeah. If you would like to test the hole out, you should email me at heyshadequa@gmail.com. And send a picture, motherfucker, send a picture. And proof of income. We don't want no broke motherfuckers in my Gmail, cause that's what Yahoo is reserved for. Y'all get it, y'all get it. Oh man, y'all know I ain't got no dick. Ain't got no dick. I know I look like I might carry one in the car and shit. It's really at the house. But I have invested in prosthetics. Y'all know what prosthetics are? Like attachable limbs and shit. People in the mirror, so you lose a hand, you get a prosthetic hand, you lose a foot, you get a prosthetic. I've invested in prosthetic dicks. I sure did. And I say dicks because I have a plethora of prosthetic dicks in my repertoire. I sure do. Yeah, I invested in the short, fat one for you bitches that like girth. Out here dyking, I discovered there's a whole community of bitches that like girth. They ain't worried about them bottom walls being knocked out. They need them side walls hit up on a little bit. Yeah, raise your hand if you like girth. So I invested in the sausage-shaped prosthetic dick for you bitches. Chicken sausage ass dick. I sure did. Yeah. I invested in the long dick with the curvature. You know, the banana-shaped dick. Y'all know into the Capricorn dick. Yeah, cause out here dyking, I discovered there's a whole community of bitches that like it hit up here. So I invested in the banana-shaped dick for you bitches. I sure did. I sure did. Yeah. I invested in the daddy long stroke, for all you bitches that like them bottom walls knocked the fuck out. Yeah, you know out here dyking, I discovered there's a whole community of bitches that like them bottom walls knocked the fuck out. Let me stop lying. I be lying sometimes and shit. It ain't intentional. Just a little thing I happen to do. I invested actually in the daddy long stroke for fat bitches. Cause there's a lot of motherfuckers out here trying to fuck fat bitches with little dicks. Out here penetrating inner thigh and shit. Ain't even getting to the motherfucking pussy. You got a whole community of fat bitches walking around here mad. They not mad cause they hungry. They ain't miss no meals. They mad cause the dick keeps slipping out. So I invest in the daddy long stroke for you bitches specifically. Fat bitches. If you would like to take a look at my repertoire of prosthetic dicks, you should email me at HeyShadiqua@gmail.com. But send a picture, bitch, and proof of income, cause I don't want no broke bitches in my Gmail. That's what Yahoo is reserved for. Yeah. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I carry these titties around every day, all motherfucking day. I be dyking like on the bottom half of my body and shit, walking around looking for. I'm ready, find me a hole or just, hold on, let me, what prosthetic you want? What, you fucking with the Kappa, what you want? But up top, I'm a whole bitch. My time of the month come around, these bitches be hurting and tender. I gotta walk around Ralph's and shit with my nipples hurting and shit, just looking at eggs like, crying, looking at bacon like, pork. No, I ain't supposed to be eating, you just whole emotional, whole bitch, right? You know why? Cause I gotta support these bitches. Yeah, Tamisha and Tanika. These bitches is twins and shit. I support these bitches like any single mother supports their children. Shit. Yeah, but I can't like stop by Target or Walmart for support for these bitches. No, I gotta put in work. I gotta go online, find a reputable Chinese company who specialize in big titty bitch bras. I gotta place an order and shit, wait an entire year for my motherfucking merchandise to be shipped across the 7 seas. That's the type of shit I gotta do to support these bitches. Yeah, I know. I'm a single mother and they still bitches, yeah. So, but if you would like to check out these bitches, you should email me at heyshadequa@gmail.com. But send a picture, bitch. Yeah. And proof of income. Cause I don't want no broke bitches in my Gmail. That's what Yahoo is reserved for. Hey, I'm the comedian Sadiqua Scarlett, and that's my time.
This has been a Funny Media Group production.